your son that you are a diva? Daddy, what's diva? Hey, get the fuck out of here.
I got hella shit to say. Cause what the fuck are you talking about? You ain't talking about nothing. So tonight we got a video. Stream University is destroying Plaqueboymax. I'm gonna get into that, man.
This is gonna be a different type of video, bro. And before I even hopped on here to record, I was literally ranting on my Instagram story about it because as a black man who does not fit the stereotypical masculine archetype, and I really feel like it was hitting home because I like to express myself freely. Back when I was in high school, I was painting my nails often. I used to have my homegirls paint my nails. I used to have shorties paint my nails, and my swag is boundary pushing. I like to wear things that can be a little feminine. I like to wear clothes that are, you know, more in line with what niggas would call twink swag, but I do it because it's expression. And seeing
ain't nothing wrong with you expressing yourself, bro. But you just called it feminine. It's described as feminine for a reason. Now, do us as humans put labels on things? Yes. But that don't mean it don't mean what it mean, though. That don't mean you not doing what you doing. That's all I'm saying.
Plaqueboymax get demeaned for expressing himself when there's actual evils in this world was truly disgusting, and it really upsets me because the black community is very guilty of this. It seems that being anything that isn't this perceived idea of what a man should be is worse than being an abuser. It's worse than being a predator. It's worse than being someone who hurts other people. I just don't understand why people cling so hard to the performance of masculinity, because that's all this is. People call Max a sellout and they say he's a demon because they're pseudo-intellectual religious people who are saying homophobic dog whistles, and they've somehow equated God with traditional ideas of masculinity when all of this is merely a performance of what masculinity is. It's a performance of what a man should be, when all a man is someone with an outstanding character, integrities, and morals. The reason why the world won't become a better place is because people keep clinging on to performing.
If you're gonna say that definition, bro, you can say it's a man, but it's just, that should be you as a human overall. You're a human first, you're a man second. You're a human first, you're a woman second. Come on, gang. Come on, gang, I'm not tripping.
The only thing that defines a woman is someone with outstanding characters and morals. But when you deviate from what is the norm, people try to shame you back into submission, and that's exactly what's happening with Plaqueboymax. It's not because he's gay, it's not because he's hiding himself. He's being exactly who he is, but he is being met with so much vitriol and controversy, and you people wonder why he had a reaction on stream. It's not that his demons are coming out to play, it's that you weird pseudo-intellectual fools are trying to shame someone back into conforming with your idea of what it means to be a man, and your idea of what it means to be a man is a performance in and of itself. But I say all this to say, twin, I have a lot to say. This shit not even tea. I'ma just spit this real. If you're in
Me too, nigga. I got hella shit to say. Cause what the fuck are you talking about? You ain't talking about nothing, man. Not yet. Let me hear what you talking about.
Usually I would give like a summary on how we got here, but I'm gonna just cut straight to the BS because honestly, there is no summary on how we got here. All Max has done is just present himself in a way that I guess could be perceived as outwardly feminine, like getting a diva tat and wearing a wig. And this has spawned some of the most psychosis, remedial hot takes I've ever seen. Like Plaqueboymax is pushing.
Bro, I'm not even trying to be one of them niggas that pause the video all the time, but bro, let's look up the definition of diva real quick. A diva is a celebrated female performer, often a singer or actress with outstanding talent and glamorous reputation. That's the definition of diva. Just saying. But anyway,
pushing the gay agenda onto kids. Plaqueboymax is pushing the feminine agenda onto kids, but these same people talking about these agendas never be speaking up when it's the Epstein files. They never speak up when it's predators in their communities. They don't speak up when it's predators in their families. They don't speak up when women are being abused, but they speak up when a man deviates from the traditional.
Bro, you can't say nobody speak on that shit, gang. Everybody speak on that shit, bro. Everybody speak on that shit. Just cause somebody's speaking on this shit, that don't mean nobody speaking on that shit over here. Niggas gonna speak on it all. regardless. Cause this shit need to get spoke about. I ain't gonna, not necessarily this situation, like, yeah, motherfuckers could care less about this shit, really. Like, realistically, yeah, let this nigga do whatever the fuck he wanna do. That's up to him. That's on him as a human being. That don't deviate the fact of what's going on, though. So, that's all I'm saying. Look at his tattoo game. Shit say diva, bro.
Masculine idea. They speak up when a man stops performing masculinity for them. They speak up when a man steps outside of the box. And it starts when Max literally tries to greet someone who he thought was his friend, and it's a man named OJ Suave. And you just gotta hear what he has to say to him. We're just gonna break it down step by step, and I'm gonna dismantle all of these remedial talking points that he dishes towards Max.
Why you wanna be a diva?
On some flash.
Why you wanna be a diva?
Some flash.
You're a demon. You need holy oil, right? You need to sit down in the holy oil. You need to go get a church bath and cleanse your body, right? I think you are confused. I think you need some guidance. I think your parents feel a little way about that. I think you're clip farming and you're getting your clips. You pushing the persona. You smart. You loyal. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You've been at this. But you are not a diva. Divas bend over. I don't think you bend over. You're not the little boys in Clover. You're not Tota. You're not a diva. You are a grown man. Plaqueboymax, not Plaqueboymax.
Now, if that's really his homie, though, like, that's his man's for real, like, he could have went off camera with that shit for solely. But, like, at the same time, shit, y'all content creators, gang, like, you got the camera out, all type of shit. You putting everything else on the net. Why not? You can't tell me you not purposefully trying to get a reaction, you know, from the crowd, from the people, from your people. That's exactly what you doing, gang. Yeah, it's controversial. You can't say that you're not trying to be controversial, gang. Like, come on, bro. We not, if you can't see this shit.
This man said to Max is just astonishing. He called him a demon. He said that his parents feel a way about that. He said that he's not Clover. He said that he's not Tota. He said that Max needs guidance. That's a grown-ass man telling another man that his parents would feel some way about how he's conducting himself. All because it doesn't fit the traditional idea of what a man is. All because Max refuses to perform masculinity. And that's why this shit boils my blood so much, because all of this stems from this religious, pseudo-intellectual idea that there is a gay agenda. And then you can hear the homophobic dog whistles. He says, divas bend over. I don't think you bend over. Number one, bro, if you actually watch Streamer University, if you watch Max, yes, Max will say some zesty jokes. Yes, he may play a little gay, but Max has consistently gone after and flirted with women, so he's not gay. The only thing that makes you gay is liking boys. Dressing femininely, presenting yourself femininely, liking things that are not commonly associated with men has nothing to do with your sex.
I'm not even trying to call Brett gay for real. It's just like, you know what you doing, bro. And when somebody call out what you doing, you can't feel no type of way about it. You can't say you don't know what you doing. It's out the box. It's not the norm or the meaning of normal we put onto it, you know. But that don't mean it's not what it is, bro. Now, yeah, you got Michael Jackson. He wore wigs, shit. Fucking, you know, the old founding fathers, they wore wigs. You know, Egyptians wore wigs, yeah. But, like, niggas wasn't getting their edges done, bro. Well, nah, I ain't gonna lie. Michael Jackson was definitely getting his edges done. Prince was doing that shit, too. But motherfuckers looked at it weird for a reason is all I'm saying, bro. I could ask a female, bro. I could ask a woman how they feel, a grown woman, how they feel about this shit. They gonna say, like, yeah, that's kind of weird, you feel me? I don't know. I can't even say that, bro. It's all contradicting. Like, it's really contradicting all this whole conversation. Because at the same time, you can't tell a nigga what to do. You can't tell a nigga how to feel about something. That's okay. He don't gotta do it with whatever you feel like he should be doing. He don't gotta feel however you feel like he should be feeling, or she. That's bro. That's cool. That's passable. But like, that still don't go past the fact that it is what it is, bro. Now, is our definition of what it is a debate? Possibly. But shit, I debate it.
sexuality. But for this grown-ass man to assert that he needs to go to a church and get cleansed and even calling him a demon when all he's doing is expressing himself in a free-flowing way, that is truly disgusting, and that is demonic, because you know what Jesus said, not to judge thy neighbor. And that's my issue with some of these Christians. I know not all Christians are like this, and I actually want to be better at clarifying that I'm not talking about every single Christian, because I recognize that not all Christians are like this, and Christians are not a monolith. I also don't know if OJ is a Christian or not, but what I do know is that Christians and religious people do this. They will use God to shame you out of being yourself. I'm gonna drop some quick little DH lore, bro. At the church I grew up going to, in the 7th grade, there was a gay man who was apparently like a born-again Christian who stopped being gay because of the church. In my honest opinion, that's just not possible. What I think he was doing was just suppressing himself out of fear of hell, out of fear of consequences. I'm not gonna mince words, bro. Some Christians enable that environment of self-suppression, and we're seeing it.
That's definitely what he was doing for surely, but at the same time, that's not me saying ain't nobody capable of change, you know? Cause shit, some motherfuckers grow in other ways, bro. Like I say, you ain't growing, you ain't doing shit, and if that's their way of growing, so you're doing something. Of course, it got to be growth. It got to show some type of growth there, whether that's, you feel me, I don't know, career, spiritual, something, you feel me, going upwards, growth.
Right here with Plaqueboymax. This nigga called him a demon over a diva tattoo, but I guarantee this guy's never spoken out against abusers or predators or misogyny or, I don't know, the global elites that are literally poisoning our world. And you can call me wrong for assuming these things out of someone I don't know, but when you're calling someone a demon just based off of a tattoo, why should I give you the benefit of the doubt? Why should I give you grace? This is disrespect in every sense of the word, but let's continue.
Not black boy ass. Are you gonna tell your son that you are a diva? Daddy, what's diva? Hey, get the fuck out of here. That is an abomination, Max. I am not proud of you. I am proud of everything else you did. Nominations, changing the game, changing your skin to Baki Diva? Diva start with D. Diddy. What else?
So I just want to mention that the cameraman looked at OJ's pants, and the reason he did that was to point out the irony in what OJ was saying, because OJ is a fashion nigga. And later in the video, I'm gonna play a clip of him being performative, because he kind of has this branding where it's like, oh, you shouldn't do things for other people's validations, and I'm pushing the boundaries as a fashion guy. But he proceeds to berate Max for doing the exact same thing.
Somebody said, wait, you're straight? Bro, I'll make your mother laugh, bro. I don't like when y'all do that, and the reason I don't like when y'all do that is because I do not have to conform to your generic, dirty, idealistic notions as to what you believe males should act like.
And for the record, when I grow up, I will be telling my son and my daughter I used to paint my nails and do things that were a little more feminine, because they should know that you can do whatever you want. You can exist as free as you can be, because the only thing that matters is your character, your morals, and your integrity. This guy is calling Max an abomination for simply being himself and not adhering to the confines of what society deems as masculine. Then he goes on a psychosis rant and tries to connect the word diva to Diddy. He says diva starts with D, that's Diddy. Caribbean niggas don't be talking about none. And that's really what I want to get across to you guys. None of this is intellectual, none of this is progressive. It's just grasping at straws using fear, and I don't like that. He is berating someone because he's not adhering to the confines of society, while simultaneously wearing some freaky ass pants. You wearing some freaky ass pants. I wouldn't even swag them pants, gang. But I guarantee there's an old head that would look at OJ's fit and be like, yo, this guy is not being a grown man, he gotta be gay. And like real quick, I just want to quickly insert this in here. There's a photo of this guy swagging a purse, and there's nothing wrong with this. And honestly, OJ, this is not a bad fit. I actually fuck with this, so I'm not just a mindless hater. But the same way you're trying to say that diva means Diddy and Max is gonna have to tell his son this, are you gonna have—
Diva is female, nigga. So if he out there acting as such or doing things as such, that's what he's labeling himself as. And if you're doing that, then you on your own or I don't know, making a questionable manhood to the masses.
Have to explain to your child why you were a grown man wearing a purse. You see how that works? This guy's a hypocrite. So it's like, how could you be the same person to perpetuate that line of thinking to some?
But that nigga ain't, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ain't anybody to tell anybody anything. So, can say all that. This video damn near pointless. This video here is damn near pointless, but like at the same time, shit. Why not speak on it, I guess? Human interactions and, you know, internet interactions and shit.
Someone who is apparently your friend, and I'm gonna continue this clip because he's gonna proceed to tell Max that you were one of the first people to give me subs.
What's the next engagement? What's the next clip? Don't lose yourself, don't sell your soul, Max. They want your soul because you changed the game. Don't sell your soul. You know I have a soul. You know I don't hold my tongue. You know you the first person that ever subbed me up as a big streamer.
And I ain't never really watched Max, bro. I really only know Max through, you feel me, clips and shit on bro like he talking about. And like, from my understanding, it's only being called out because like shit. You know, you got a certain character, you feel me? You got a certain mask you done put up towards people beforehand. And then, see, because I be paying attention to this shit sometimes. Well, a lot of times because it's on my phone. And I do music and shit or whatever, if you ain't know. But, like, peeping all the other artists, like, they be on that shit. But it's literally for clicks and likes and shares. That's really what it is. Yeah, they doing it, like, more of the story, bruh. If them niggas wasn't who they was, they wouldn't do that shit. I feel like I could say that. Maybe I'm wrong, but if they wasn't who they was right now, they wouldn't be doing that shit. Max wasn't the first nigga to do it, you know? I could say the same for Michael Jackson, bro. He wouldn't be doing that shit again. If he wasn't who he was, he wouldn't did that shit. To be like who he was at first, he wouldn't be doing that shit. His shit wasn't all the way like Max's shit, but or even what's it, Nine Vicious, bruh, be on some other shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You be on some other shit, bro.
You ain't mention it. You don't know how much I appreciate you. But you bigger than that, nigga. Don't forget niggas like you for your personality, nigga. Is you crazy? You need to put on no persona, nigga. You broke through with music. Is you crazy?
And OJ really spelled out why Max is having such a intense reaction to the hate online. People keep misinterpreting Max expressing himself as a fake persona. They keep misinterpreting it as pushing agenda, but this is merely who Plaqueboymax is. And I want to quickly get this talking point out the way because I keep seeing it. People think that Max crying is basically him admitting to being gay. They think that this is indicative that Max is gay and that the crying means that it hit a soft spot or OJ was right on the money or this is Max's demons coming out to play. But I hate to say it, you are truly remedial and you need to go back to school. Imagine that if you were just being yourself on the internet, every time people would say that you sold your soul, you need to get cleansed and misinterpreting it as a false persona. This dude Max is literally doing what I preach, which is exist as you are, come as you are. I don't want anyone to be watching my videos and pretending to be someone else. Whoever you are, however you may be, come as that, exist as that. That's exactly what Plaqueboymax is doing, and yet he is the subject to all of this scrutiny. And I really want to get this out the way before I show you guys Max's response to all of this, because following this OJ conversation, he proceeds to vent his feelings a little bit. But I need you guys to know that as a content creator, I'm not even Max's size, but I get tons of hate comments. I get tons of people literally slurping my dick up. It's annoying, and I'm just a human. And yes, as content creators, we have built a tolerance for it, but put yourselves in our shoes for just a second. As people who don't make content and don't put themselves out there, you're not the subject to scrutiny. Max has been the subject to questions and scrutiny.
Again, we're not nobody to say anything for real. I think the problem is, like, don't nobody believe that he truly being himself, you know? It don't seem that way. Now, can he grow into that? Sure, but as of right now, it really don't seem like that. And that's not a singular person thing. That's he's a famous person, you feel me? That's on a global scale, I guess you could say. It's a ton of motherfuckers questioning that shit. And it seems like you questioning it yourself. So why wouldn't anybody else question it? You know, not questioning it as much as them, because you going forward with this, you going forward with the shit, but.
And I don't mean to make this shit about me, but I literally went through it when I was beefing with Jadeon. That weird man antagonized me as a child, and when I grew up, got stronger, and defended myself, people tried to police me. The same people that are not putting themselves out there, the same people that are not subject to thousands of comments that are hating on them all the time. I'm not making an argument that content creators live a life that is just significantly worse than people who work normal jobs. But there is one thing that content creators do go through, and that's being subjected to the criticisms and the speculation and the vitriol of the general public. And as humans, it is hard, but the internet is so disingenuous, and some of y'all love to moral posture people so fucking much that y'all want to dehumanize a person that is being critiqued and low-key harassed just for being himself. So with all of that being said, let's talk about Plaqueboymax's mini response to what OJ had to say about him, and how this is actually consistent with the message he's been saying the entire time.
I'm at my stream. I don't really want to chill with niggas. I want to just chill. I've been streaming this whole time, and I've been having a lot of fun. You know, people just really just accepted me for who I am, honestly, the whole time. So it's just felt like, damn, I felt like I enjoyed this shit again. You know, the reason I turned the camera back on is because I want to be real with y'all. Like, that's why I started doing it. It's because streaming ability, I feel like, alright, streaming, give me the ability to do that. That's why I love it in the first place. I feel like I've always been able to be me. And even if niggas who don't me, or like viewers and fans, they, how do I explain it, hate on me or don't with me, that's cool. On my own platform, it's like, damn bro, if you with me and really felt that way, why would you say on the stream in front of honest? You don't care about it for real. You just know it go viral.
I had to start with this because Max ends up ending his stream after this because it is something that bothered him. He also talked about how he doesn't care if like random people are saying anything about him, because at the end of the day, like, he's being himself and he likes streaming because he gets to express himself. And I don't want to spoil anything because I did watch this already, but dude, hearing Max talk really showed me why I started watching Plaqueboymax in high school. For now, I'm just gonna explain myself by saying I can say confidently Plaqueboymax did not sell out, but I do want to mention the fact that Max calls out how OJ did that in front of the cameras, which made it seem very performative, which made it come across as clip farming. And even as I sit down and record this video, I can acknowledge that the stance OJ is taking isn't exactly his fault. We live in a society that perpetuates bigotry and homophobia. We live in a society that is very religious dominant, and religion perpetuates this type of bigotry as well. But what makes me refrain from just saying that this is ignorance is, like Max said, why would you do this in front of the cameras? If you genuinely felt like Max was acting out of character, he could have pulled Max aside.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's definitely a GAY agenda, though. The fact that that shit be in cartoons, children's cartoons at all, it's like, bro, let them babies discover that shit on their own, bro. You ain't gotta push that shit on kids. You can't tell me that's not an agenda. You can't tell nobody that's not an agenda. The agenda is, yeah, you can do this. You should be this, or you can be this. To show you, is to put it in your face. People discover that shit on their own. You know, you can use the same argument for, I don't know, man and woman, but not really, actually. I mean, that's how we all get here. So, yeah, you best know about that. But other shit, you know, it don't gotta be pushed to the masses the way it is. It's kind of weird sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, being that way, going that way. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. But you know, yeah, motherfuckers be having carnivals, walk around butt booty naked, and it be babies there. So that's all I'm saying, bro. It's not everybody though. You feel me? Like, bro, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not everybody, but that's definitely a thing though. We not gonna bypass that
Agenda being pushed except the express yourself freely, and hearing Max sticking to his guns and hearing Max standing up for himself has shown me that he didn't sell his soul. This sounds like the Plaqueboymax that I grew up watching, and I'm not afraid to admit.
Basically, if you gonna like embrace that community, you gotta take whatever come with that shit, gang. You gotta man up about that shit. You gotta take whatever fuck come with that community or where, and that's wherever, whoever, no matter what community. But that one, you gotta take what come with that game.
I have a soft spot for this dude. I've seen Max during multiple eras of his life. And at first I was a little skeptical on whether or not this dude was going through a midlife crisis, but in all actuality, he was just growing into who he is, and that's this weirdo who likes to express himself. And at his core, that is the Plaqueboymax that I grew up watching. Call it corny, but this is a real person, flawed as he is, and he's being really human on screen, more human than all the people critiquing him could ever be. And it's like I said earlier in the video, and I don't mean this to demean or disrespect the viewers of people who watch content, but people who are viewers can't relate to the idea that you're getting critiqued by thousands of people on the daily. So when Max sits up here and stands on his guns and stands on his energy despite all the vitriol and the criticism, not only is this a very powerful moment, but it is incredibly human. He's still pushing the fact that we all need to come together and love each other. There is no difference between love because it's all one.
It don't matter, niggas gay, it don't matter, they straight, it don't matter, bro. Why don't we just love each other, bro? So, I don't care, bro. OJ, if you said it off camera, you could've pulled me aside. I'd love to talk to you off camera. Why you saying that off camera? Good off this shit, I'm gonna just go chill, alright? I love y'all, but remember this always be yourself. They say, I don't care, I'm gonna wear my wigs, I don't give a f. I got diva tag, I'm gonna keep it forever. This is who I am, diva, I'm fly, I'm on my own. That's me. So always be yourself. Embrace what make you different, because that's what's gonna make you pop.
And I really like how we called OJ out. If you really cared, why did you do this on camera? That is hella performative, and it doesn't give actual affection. It doesn't give consideration to the position Max is in, and it just came across as highly disrespectful, especially when all he did during that conversation was say a whole bunch of homophobic dog whistles. He talked about Max being a demon. He talked about Max needing to be cleansed. He talked about Max being Diddy. He talked about Max bending over. He talked about all of these things that were just irrelevant to how Max was expressing himself. They were just homophobic dog whistles that appeased pseudo-intellectuals. And Max is on the money. The stuff that makes you different is what makes you stand out. I don't mean to keep making this about myself, but when I was first coming up in the commentary space, what's made me stand out was the fact I was outwardly expressing my morals. I was outwardly critiquing content creators despite all the hate I was getting early in my career. Some of that stuff used to bother me, but I persisted because I was being myself. Even when a big content creator like Jadeon tried to make fun of my career, I stood on my guns, and I'm still standing till this day. And that's why I can confidently say Plaqueboymax will overcome this. And I'm peeping how long this video is, so I'm just gonna play this last part where Max defends Wardrobe because he calls out the homophobia he was receiving and talking about the weird comments people were making about their relationship. And I just want to say I'm so proud of Max for doing that because, bro, we're all human. We're all bleeding the same blood. And as negative as I can be during my commentary videos, like, I just want y'all to know I love everybody, bro. That's why I want y'all to come as you are, exist as you be. As long as you love people, you got morals and integrity. If you feel like you're a black sheep, you can be over here. That's why I am going so hard for Plaqueboymax, because that's the type of environment he's attempting to foster and build. He is literally telling y'all there is one love. There is no different type of love, because love across humanity is consistent.
Bro, whoever Wardrobe, shout out Wardrobe, bro. Shout out Wardrobe, because Wardrobe's himself, bro. No matter what anyone say, and they hate on that. You're a genius, bro. He's super smart, he's funny, I'll be cool. He might joke, but he would never disrespect me. Niggas come around to me saying, yo, bro, are you scared Wardrobe gonna touch you in the night? No, it's a person, bro. He's a human, bro.
And that's where I'm gonna end Max's like little vent session, because bro, shout out Wardrobe. Wardrobe has been one of the most entertaining people during this streamer university stuff. Totally himself, he isn't compromising himself, and he's just existing as he is. And it's really funny because Wardrobe was one of the first people to go and check OJ. But before I show y'all any of those clips, I want to show you guys something that Max posted when he was first.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sit up here and act like bro wasn't on no disrespectful shit. Like, yeah, you call that nigga a demon again. You can't just really do that, you know. And that's not even just on no religious shit. It's the stigma around that word, you know, the aura, the energy, whatever around that word. Like, you can't just go around saying that shit, calling anybody that shit. You know, they gotta really be that. And him, you know, doing what he do, that ain't really no demon shit. Now, can you argue that he has a lot of viewers, and a lot of those viewers are children, and it's good for the ones that's, you know, that feel trapped. You feel me? It's good for those, but he got other viewers too. You feel me? But now I can say now, him going into it now, his viewers later on, that's what would be his base. But what his original base was for real, I guess this dude was a fan as well, but I can't even really speak on that because I don't really know Plaqueboymax like that. But I'm the surprise I'm seeing from it, I'm assuming his original base, it wasn't what he on right now. That's the only reason it's getting talked about to begin with. So, like, yeah, like I said though, for the ones that's, you know, that feel like they can't express themselves, then that's good for them to watch now, and he get to build that base up, that support base, and they gonna rock with him. As you can see, Wardrobe, you feel me? He pressing the line behind him. He like, nigga, you can't just go around like telling people that, and he not necessarily wrong. I'm broke, but there's always a but to me. I don't know.
To yourself, boo. Your brush might shake. No, gang. That's
Oh my God, get the clip. Rock, I get the clip. Just tell you in person. But if somebody come to me online and say go pod, if somebody if somebody comes to
nah, mud. Listen. I feel like you.
oh my gosh, I'm canceled.
Gangster, gang. I don't like that. Dean don't like that. I'm 5-star. I'm 5-star. And Max is Max is so excited to see OJ. It was like, yo, you're fit hard. Well, he went in on him, gang. Max got quiet. Max got hella sad. He been happy this entire time. Yeah. And then he started crying.
What the fuck everybody's voice sound like that?
Yeah, they was telling me that.
Like, I had on the wig today. Facts. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta let people do what they want to do.
Like I said, this video is getting way longer than I intended it to be, so I'm not gonna be doing like a clip-by-clip analysis on all of their responses and how these guys defended Max, but I am very proud of everyone who came.
That's the video, bruh. I don't know. I may or may not get some flack on it. You feel me? I'm open to the debate and the discussion, though. I ain't tripping. Just don't come at me crazy. You know. What do you say? One love. What is that?